dead after being thrown from their family car on Sunday night.
Police are looking for 2, possibly 3 people who fled the scene.
It happened just before 10 p.m. at the intersection of 4600 Titanic and 8200 Howard. That's a residential neighborhood off of Dyer Street in northeast El Paso.
Police say 28-year-old Juan Loera was driving a 2001 red Ford Expedition with 29-year-old Raquel Angeles in the passenger seat. Behind them, in the right side passenger seat, was a 13-year-old girl with a 1-year-old girl on her lap. And in the left passenger seat, a 2-year-old boy. There were 2 more children, a 5-year-old boy and a 6-year-old boy, both sitting on the floor of the car.
Loera was traveling on Titanic, making a left turn onto Howard when a black Lincoln came speeding through the intersection and struck the family's Expedition.
The 1-year-old girl and both the 5- and 6-year-old boys were ejected from the car. They were pronounced dead at the scene.
The 13-year-old girl and 2-year-old boy both suffered serious injuries and are currently in critical condition at the hospital.
Police say the 2 or 3 people in the black Lincoln fled the scene, leaving the car behind.
ABC 7's JC Navarrete is live at the scene where a memorial has started to grow. JC.
Good evening. It's been 24 hours since those first calls for help came out, and the scene here has changed quite a bit since last night, but it's still so very raw. I'm going to step out of frame here so our photojournalist Dre can go ahead and zoom in, give you a look at what we're dealing with here. You'll see that stuffed animals now line the sidewalk, as well as debris from the crash. You're seeing some candles that have been lit and some notes that neighbors have written expressing their condolences here to the family that have endured the loss of 3 young children. This community is now trying to move forward after seeing and experiencing what they did last night.
We had seen what appeared to be children dead on the floor, people hysterical in shock, screaming. It was just a horrible thing to see.
Jessica de la Torre painfully remembers the thunderous bang of that crash. Police tell us 28-year-old Juan Angel Loera was driving west on Titanic. When he turned onto the intersection, a speeding driver traveling east on Howard crashed into Loera's 2001 Ford Expedition.
Children, as young as they were, it's just something that's like, it's heartbreaking. You can't explain it. It's a shock that goes over through your body.
Candles are now lit and teddy bears now lie where 3 young lives were lost. 3 children were ejected from that Ford Expedition that evening, including a 1-year-old baby girl that was being carried on the lap of a 13-year-old. Officials initially found 2 victims. Irving Resendez discovered the 3rd body of a little boy across the rock wall.
When I got a closer look, that's when I noticed that it was a little boy. And at that point, like I looked up to see who was around, and I noticed one of the paramedics. And I yelled out to him. I was just like, hey, there's another one over here.
Neighbors are coping with what they witnessed on their block.
It's hard to go to sleep last night, just having that in our heads. I don't think we really slept. I mean, it was horrible.
Police say speed and alcohol were also contributing factors in this crash. Both the driver and the passengers in the other vehicle allegedly took off on foot. Neighbors tell me they want justice for those children.
It's their children, their innocent lives, and that's not fair, especially to the parents who are mourning right now. As a person, I would want to take responsibility. That's just a horrible act, and no parent, no human being should ever go through that.
And again, this is just a tragic scene that we are out in front of. Again, the debris here it just speaks for itself. This house is abandoned, but you can see the damage that has been done to this rock wall. The impact so strong there. We do want to remind you, police are still looking for the driver and possibly 2 other men in connection with this crash here. They're asking for anyone with information to call the number that we're going to put up on your screen right now. It's 915-832-4400. And to make this situation even more tragic, police also tell us that the Loera residence is about 2 minutes away from where we are standing right now. But again, if anyone at home is watching this and you have any information, you are asked to call police. Reporting live in Northeast El Paso, JC Navarrete, ABC 7.